Hey, what's going on, Maschine Masters? My name is MGTheFuture. Thank you for joining us on this channel today. Today's video is going to be about Studio One version 4 and how to quickly interpolate samples using the ARA feature, using Melodyne, pretty much whatever you want. I think this is pretty sick, and I wanted to show it to you guys just to show you how fast it is. This tutorial came to my mind because I was listening to this new song by Dolla ign Jeremih called Dolla ign, and you're going to hear right away that it's interpolating a well-known sample's bass line. And I was thinking to myself, if that's what we're doing, it's going to be a very hot summer then. So let me show you what I'm talking about. Right here I have a very well-known sample. So you guys should know what that is. So what I want to do is I want to chop this. So I'm going to find the first transient first. So I'm using focus. I have it as a shortcut on my particular setup. And I want to play it from here and see if I can get a really good looping point. Loop it up here. So that's a perfect loop. I'll move it to the beginning, almost 2 bars. So I'm gonna increase this tempo to make it even. So it's around here. So around 82 beats per minute. So I'm gonna do Command M. That's gonna bring up Melodyne. I'll double click on it, boom. All right, so it's in the key of F sharp minor. Now to get this particular function out of ARA and Melodyne, you're gonna want to have Melodyne Editor version or Melodyne Studio. Melodyne Editor is cheaper. However, Melodyne Studio you can get if you have Essentials, which I believe comes with Studio One for most owners, but they do a special upgrade to Studio for like $299. Regular, I think, Studio is like $800, the version I have. So I'm gonna do F sharp minor just to remind me in case I wanna add other elements to it. Now I wanna bring up Presence right under that. And I'm gonna go to Vintage Keys, see if we find an old sound. Let's try Hall Road, since this is already an EP sound. I remember seeing them perform this live when they were younger. I think someone posted it on Facebook. I don't think they were playing a Rhodes, it was some kind of other keyboard. But I'm gonna drag this clip down and only the MIDI is gonna transfer. I'm gonna mute the original, start from the top. You can quantize it if you want, because you hear that rumbling in the lower notes, but I actually like it like that. So now what I'm going to do is go and see if there's another sound. Let's try Echo Synth. I'm just curious. Gaga Rhodes. Now what's beautiful about it being MIDI, you have so much control over it, because instead of being in this key, I can move it up or transpose it up too. And now I can lower this tempo down into the lo-fi range. Let me go to mix real quick. Let me get this to be a little touch louder. L2, I'm gonna bring the ceiling and threshold down at the same time. Now that bass in there is kind of throwing me off. I don't want to quantize it though, because it's going to quantize everything. So what I'm going to do is high pass it. I'll pull an EQ in here, probably one of the APIs, and get that lower frequency up out of here on the shelf. Let's see, something like this. Cool. Now I'll bring impact in. Let's see if we got any presets. Bring up pattern mode with Command Shift and P. It's going to give us a 2-bar loop. Let's remove this one for now. Let's make sure our looping time is correct. Double click in here. I'm going to change this to 32 steps. Let's see what happens. Let's go ahead and open that drum sequencer up. And then remember, we can go to this MIDI track and send it to a chord track as well. Extract 2 chord tracks. So now we know what the 2 main chords are I'm actually going to see if I can extend this, because if there's gaps in the chord track, it won't properly convert your other MIDI clips such as bass lines and what have you. Speaking of which, let's bring sample 1 in real quick. Let's go ahead and lay a bass line down real quick. Make sure this is mono. And then on this track, go to the info tab. We're gonna do follow, use bass. Let's see what happens. So as you can see, in seconds, you can get an interpolation going with little to no effort and sadly, really no skill involved at all. It kind of boils down to taste, picking good samples. And one thing about picking good samples, finding good samples with openings like that. Because if I throw another track in here that has a lot of elements at once, you really can't get a clean chord readout like that. So my recommendation to a lot of you is, if you're experimenting with this strategy, listen for the samples and the breaks where it's usually mostly just a solo instrument. This way you get a good recreation, and then you can go back into the sample and chop up the voice and stuff and blend it with your actual reinterpolation of it, which is lit. And of course, if you have problems with time stretching, if you have problems with just working with different samples and different tempos, converting it to a MIDI track and using it however you want is lit. It's like a whole nother world, man. Like making these beats in like 3 minutes at a time, man. I got to slow myself down, but I just wanted to show you that, you know. So shout out to Jeremih and all them Young Berg and them for they're letting us know Atlantic Records is paying for clearances. So a lot of interpolations between this new project coming out with them and Chris Brown. So when in Rome. I'm MGTheFuture. Thank you guys for joining us on Maschine Masters today. If you have social media, be sure to follow us. I'm at MGTheFuture on Instagram and Twitter, and be sure to follow at Maschine Masters. Until next time, guys, peace.